Okay. So we're using OBS for streaming and it's crashed a couple of times. And in the spirit of what I'm trying to achieve and the idea of learning out loud, let's have a look and see. Well, I started having a look and then I thought, let me share what I'm looking at. I used OBS before, but so I'm very much a novice. So first thing to look at is if we look at the current log. Okay, so current log is going to be, current log is for the session that we started now. Well, I restarted OBS just before I went live, so that's not going to give us much information. What I looked at for was looking at all the log files. So this is the one that's just started. This is the one that this is what crashed. This is from this morning. Anyway, so these are log files. You see, very new to OBS. And so what I found was that we have a look at the last stream that I did. It's quite disconcerting. I can't see myself now. Put that over there. That's better. Okay, so the last stream that, oh, and I sat down. Too much standing. And so device remove reset, rebuilding all assets. Now user switch scene. So when you switch scene, you switch different scenes. So the idea of switching a scene with the whiteboard, I can turn my camera off, or I can just show my camera and not show the background. But what happened was, hey, I spelled whiteboard wrong. What happened was that it failed at that point. If I look at the previous stream, which was the first stream this afternoon, I switched a few times. This is when I was we were deploying the landing zone. Anyway, we switched to different scenes a few times, and we got a similar error. So if we look at this most recent one, and then I went to go and have a look in Event Viewer. So if I look at that and look at my system logs on this machine, and so I go and marry the times, and see that there's a warning display driver IGFX stopped responding and successfully recovered. As far as I know, that is the Intel driver. Yes, Intel Graphics Media Accelerator onboard graphics chip. So the driver for that failed. And I didn't notice anything. At one point, I thought it might be, I have a third screen that is connected via USB on this machine. I thought it might be that, but I'm not sure. Intel graphics driver. So there is, I looked at this yesterday afternoon. So there is a driver upgrade for this. from Intel, but the driver from Intel, well, C. So the driver that you can see, this is not a super duper machine, but it works. For a while, there's 3 of those. This is the driver that failed. I think this is the driver that failed. Why did it fail? I'm not sure. But the process of turning something off, we look at the logs again, the process of switching scenes, it then seems to marry up. Let's see, yesterday we also had the same thing. Switch scene, switch scene, switch scene. This was, I was just playing around yesterday trying to set up the software. No vertex buffer, I don't know what that means exactly, but this rebuilding all assets, something to do with device removal reset. It seems to be linked to the Intel graphics driver. The driver is, there is an update. Recently released. The one that I'm using is not that old, but let's, so if we try to install it, we're going to get this error. Download installs driver. Oh, there we go. Installation failed with error code. That's helpful. Okay, let's install it. Let's try to install it, and we'll see what the error we get is. Okay. I think we're still streaming. Frame 0 live. It looks like we're still streaming. If you update a graphics driver, you're always going to have some issues with the graphics. So when you update your graphics driver, it's going to do something funky. Let's see, let's bring it across. It says it's installing. It says it's in progress. Let's see what it does. I tried to install it yesterday and it failed. While we're doing that, let me just see if we are still streaming. Looks like we are. Seems to be. There we go. That. Okay, reinstall. Private command center is already there. Clean installation removes old drivers, restores Intel settings to default value. Maybe, I'm not sure if I did that yesterday. Let's click start and see what happens. And if this stops streaming, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Okay, jumped across to move this. Did you know Intel was originally going to be called more noise? Okay.